I would like to start off Mic Check Waifu Waifu episode 14 this week by saying in Anime Talk, the second half of our show, where we normally bring you some anime that we discuss. We talk about the story of it. We talk kind of slight spoilers and stuff like that. I just want to tell y'all that this week and weeks forth until the show is done, I will not talk about Astra Lost in Space anymore. I'm done doing it. I'm not talking about it anymore. I just watched episode 9, so that's where I am. But I'm not talking about Astra Lost in Space anymore because I want every last one of you to go watch it with no spoilers. This is the best show probably in the last, I would say, year. This is definitely top Demon Slayer for me. It definitely topped Fire Force for me. It definitely topped anything that came out this summer season or this year period. So go watch Astra Lost in Space. This is the last time I'm going to say something about it. Except I'm going to say go watch Astra Lost in Space probably every episode until all of you do. Now,
with that being said, I will be taking over for Polo and talking about Astra Lost.
No.
I'm just playing.
No, but seriously, welcome to episode 14 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. We got a couple of great topics for you, and we're excited to share that with you. But first, we have to thank our Patreon producers, Monique, James, Christopher Goodywin, my boy, and Connor. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. Shout out to Goodywin for giving us the topic of the show. Also, Connor gave us 2 topic of the show. So if you want to give us 2 topic ideas, make sure you go to our patreon.com/MicCheckWaifuWaifu and then comment on our topic thread and be a part of that conversation. And we'll talk about it on the show. But these topics are great. We're going to be talking about what anime that we think should be made into video games. That's a very interesting title. I can't wait to get into that. And then also, what order do you watch the Fate series in? Now, Taylor's going to talk about that because I don't know. I have no idea. That's the reason why I fell off of the Fate Stay Night and what Fate Stays, whatever, unlimited death or whatever they got out there. So we're going to talk about that too.
Blade Works. What you mean unlimited death? It's Unlimited Budget Works. It's literally the best animation company in anime.
That's a fact. So we're going to get into all of that after these credits.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?
Mic check. Waifu Waifu. King Teliano. Is that you?
Polo, what's happening, bro?
What's up there, boy? I haven't done that in a long time.
I know, right?
What's up there, brother?
You know me, chilling, having a good old great time. Ready to talk about some anime.
Let's do it. So this week, our topic's brought to you by Goodywin, our Patreon producer, and Connor. These are 2 fantastic topics. But first, we're going to start off with what anime do we feel should be made into video games? Now, do you want to go first or you want me to start?
I mean, we doing 3 and 3, right?
We're doing however many we can think of.
All right, cool, bet. Then I want to start off with one. And this one almost like was the immediate first one that popped into my head. I like to play, I don't know, you don't know this one. I don't think you thought about this one.
Oh.
Yeah, I hope this is a surprise. I hope it is. I like to play Apex Legends. It's a battle royale game. You drop in, you do your shooting, blah, blah, blah. I love it. Well, I thought about this and I was like, this would be low-key dope because it's not going to be a huge amount of people and it could be really cool. The first one I thought of when I thought about a video game or anime becoming a video game was Juni Taisen's Zodiac Wars. And I like that because there's 12 characters, boom. And essentially you could just choose any one of these 12 characters, you drop into like some kind of battle royale and you're instantly matched up with one enemy. And kind of like how our current battle royales are, the arena gets smaller and smaller and you end up having to eventually collide into the other enemies. So I think Juni Taisen would be a great one because it could be like think of Absolver, where you're fighting someone 1v1, you defeat your enemy and you have to get into this smaller closed in ring, and essentially it's forcing you closer to fighting everyone else. So you go from a 1v1 fight, you might win your 1v1 fight, but now that the ring is closing or it's getting smaller arena, you now have to fight. You're now in a group of 6 that might have to fight, or you might be in a group of 4 that has to fight.
Right.
And you have to pick who might be the best person for you to fight, or, you know, end up just throwing hands with everybody.
Right.
Junie Tyson.
I was about to say, for those of you that don't know what Junie Tyson is, you want to give a quick synopsis of that one?
So Junie Tyson is called Junie Tyson Zodiac Wars. Basically, it's an anime about the Chinese zodiac. And each of these, there's a different person from a different clan, 12 different clans, and they all take on the symbol of that, you know, zodiac symbol.
Yep.
So essentially, they manifest those kind of powers associated with that symbol, and they go out and they'll fight once every 10 years or something like that. They'll go out and they'll fight against the other symbols for that zodiac sign. A lot of them are like assassins. A lot of them are just like skilled martial artists. Some of them are lazy high school students. You'll figure out how it goes from there. But basically, they will go and fight, and the last one standing gets to make any wish they want. And I really just want this to happen so that my favorite character from the show can live and not die.
Oh, man. That's a good one. That's fantastic.
I don't want Monkey to die, bro.
Nah.
Oops, spoiler.
Slight spoiler. I was okay.
Low-key.
Anyway, that's a fantastic one because that's one I didn't even think about. With how popular the battle royale genre is right now, Junie Tyson would be the perfect battle royale game. A nice small area, but except in Junie Tyson, the map doesn't get smaller. They just look for each other, which
they try not to kill each other.
Yeah, which is perfectly fine too. Like I can picture a nice small city map, and then you all are in it trying to like hide from each other or trying to come together and fight together until it's 1v1 and go from there. Yeah. I think that's dope. That's a really good one.
Like, I think it'd be really cool. Like, for instance, certain characters would be better at picking off enemies 1v1.
Yeah.
Whereas other characters might be really good at fighting multiple enemies. Like, you fighting 3 people and you get stronger.
Right.
Or you are better off at the sneak attack kind of game and you get advanced damage on sneak attacks or something like that.
Right.
It could be mad dope. We can figure it out. Let's get some game producers out here.
That's a good one. Before I jump into mine, though, I totally forgot a little bit more in housekeeping at the beginning of the show. I do want to say we just dropped our first Patreon exclusive episode too. So what's cool is you can support us at the Otaku or Weeb tier and get access to this bonus episode that we're calling right now. The name may change. It may change to something else later, but might check Waifu Waifu Plus. And it's just literally us shooting the shit about whatever we want to talk about. Nothing, not specifically anime, not specifically video games, but just whatever we're into at that time of the week. So make sure you guys go check that out. That one's a lot of fun, man. It's super chill, super relaxed, and just fun to record.
Definitely. One of my favorite episodes in general, just to record.
Yeah, because it was so natural. So fun. Back like we used to do in high school when we used to be on when it used to be me, you, and CJ on 3-way. It's talking about whatever.
Used to be wild.
Yeah, good stuff.
Right, but what you got for us, Polo?
So for my video game first choice, okay, I am a big JRPG fan. I love the Personas. I do like the Final Fantasies. I like stuff like that. Now,
okay,
my one, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I can see in JRPG form, maybe instead of turn-based, more action-based combat because of the characters in it. That'll be Re:Zero. I think Re:Zero as a JRPG would be so freaking dope. Can you imagine? Okay, even if it's turn-based, you can even go turn-based if you want to, like the Final Fantasy kind of combat. But I just think action combat would be so well playing as Best Girl, obviously. I'm not even going to say her name because everybody in the world already who know who Best Girl is. And if you don't, watch Re:Zero, you'll figure it out. But as Best Girl with her weapon that she has, it would be so dope. And then, like, the way the game starts, you have to progress kind of like the same way he did in the show, where he had to keep going back. So, like, the game is super, super, super hard at the beginning. So you start off, you're in another world. You start there, and then you go through the world. You have no powers, no recollection of what's going on, and you go through, and there's no way for you to progress the story until you die once. So you go through, you do, no matter what you do, you're going to die. You die and you start all over, i.e. re-zero in the way the show was. But imagine doing that. And then as you're doing that, you're slowly leveling up. And each time you reliving it, you're getting further and further and further into the story. But except, of course, we wanted to do it just how the show did it and like kind of skip past all the fluff. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. So you have to do a little bit of grinding and going through different scenarios to kind of learn what scenario would advance the story more. And for those of you that don't know, this guy, I forget the guy's name off the top of my head. I don't have it pulled up because this one literally just came off the top of my dome. But the main character, Subaru, he wakes up in another world. I believe after, did he die? I don't think that was clear.
He just woke up in another world.
Yeah, woke up in another world, and he starts to live this life, and he meets this girl, and literally every single time like something happens to him in the show, i.e. he dies, he has to start all the way back to the very beginning when something happens. And it gets to the point where he gets so far in this story that if he dies, he gets brought back to almost a checkpoint when he's like back into like a little bit further into the story. It's so good. It's such a good anime. Probably one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time.
What I like about that idea is that you know how in some games you die, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I feel like dying in a proper manner,
it's
like
intentional.
Dying and getting certain information would make it better. So it's like you have to put an emphasis on this game on dying, but dying a useless death. Like, you know, I don't know how you remember, like when he was dying from poison and had no idea what was going on.
Right.
That doesn't help progress the story.
Exactly.
So that will put you at a disadvantage. But if you die and figure something out, and then you die again and figure a little bit more out, you're getting more progressive. So that actually could be a really cool concept where a game is better off if you're dying versus like if you're just living and finding nothing out.
Exactly. And it can be something as simple as at the beginning, you start off and there's an AoE on the ground, but there's one spot in the AoE that you can't get hit. So for instance, when he's battling the witch chick at the very beginning, he's battling her. There's an AoE.
She was raw, dude.
Oh my gosh, she was so freaking good. So good. But when you battling the witch chick, there's an AoE on the ground. And then as a tutorial, it says, okay, dodge the AoE. It just says for the tutorial, dodge the AoE. You can't dodge the AoE because it's covering the entire floor. You die and you come back. When you come back, it says dodge the AoE, and then it has a like a pillar of light or something like that growing to where you can, the one spot where you can go to not get hurt. I think that'd be dope. And then as that goes on, it starts to get like less and less tedious, but it starts to show you how dying can be like beneficial to you learning what's going on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Dying is your way of leveling up. Let's put it that way.
Well, it was.
Yeah, it was. It literally was, actually. But I like that a lot.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving that.
Oh, and one more thing before we get to Tales. This episode is also brought to you by Loot Complex. Go to lootcomplex.com. Use the offer code Waifu to save on your cart.
You got that Darling in the Franks song.
Yeah, that Darling in the Franks expired hoodie.
Connor gonna love that one. So my next one is just straight up Psycho-Pass.
Oh,
and
damn!
I don't think there's a game for this one yet.
I think it's like a visual novel, maybe.
But the reason I would want Psycho-Pass is because I would want a game where every decision matters, right? Yeah. So think about this, right? You're playing this game, and basically what ends up happening is that every your first scenario is you're like a new cop, and you understand that your gun is a judgment tool, and it will recognize if someone is like completely gone bad and they have no chance of recalibrating themselves to the rest of the world, or they are not completely like twisted and demented yet. Kind
of like the scam they got in Watch Dogs.
Yeah. So your first mission is you go out and you might meet this guy, and kind of how like the first episode of Psycho-Pass is, you meet this guy and this girl, and you can either choose to judge her with your weapon or not judge her. And what would happen is going to be like determination for how your Psycho-Pass level ends up in the end. Because let's say you end up completely dementing and twisting yourself, because you've made these decisions or something, right? Yeah. So like every decision would matter. And I would say it would get progressively harder based on what kind of decisions you make, right? Yeah. So let's say you decide you don't want to judge the crazy dude and you don't judge the girl who went crazy because of the crazy dude. Mm-hmm. Basically, you would be considered like you play Detroit Become Human.
Oh yeah.
You would be considered like good, but those people may or may not, based on how you judge them, come back to hurt others in the end.
Right. So,
or if you judge them too harshly, you may become twisted and get judged yourself.
Damn. So the gameplay is just like Detroit Become Human too in that aspect, where it's choice based basically.
I would like a little bit more action,
but it can play like Control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my personal opinion. I think that would be too dope.
Damn, a Psycho-Pass game that plays like Control, but had choices like Detroit Become Human. My goodness, we're killing it right now. Holy shit.
Sony, hit us up for a game deal.
I know, right? Goodness gracious. Those are really good. Dude, I can imagine. Psycho-Pass is really good. If you haven't heard of Psycho-Pass, that game he just described is Psycho-Pass, but in like anime form. And those choices get crazy good. And the way they kind of read and try to stop criminals, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's a very, very interesting show. So for me, my second game will probably have to be. Okay, hear me out. Parasite the Maximum. Okay. You remember Prototype, right? Yes. So Parasite the Maximum will be just like Prototype was. You know how he get these.
His body transforms and does different powers and stuff the more he evolves and levels up.
But it'll be just like that, but except in like a linear Dark Souls type of form. I think that'll be incredible. Incredible.
My question is are we playing as the main character in Migi and like you like half parasite, half human?
I'm glad you asked. No. You're playing as
the actual parasite.
The actual parasite.
Not Migi, but like
I thought Migi was the parasite.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we playing as a fully infected human where there's no human left in this?
No, he's
Migi.
Okay, so he's the human, but Migi is the actual parasite. So the human is computer controlled. You're just protecting the what's the guy? The guy name isn't Migi. I know that's what
his name isn't Migi. Hold on, we'll find it.
Okay, so Migi is tasked with protecting and killing stuff around him in a Dark Souls type of way, which is dope because you're not controlling the character. It's almost like it's on rails. Like the human has to go somewhere, but you're the parasite that's evolving, that's changing, that's protecting them. And you're doing all these crazy button combos to block and then counter and slash.
His name is Shinichi Izumi.
Okay, Izumi. So
I knew his last name. I didn't know his first name.
So yeah, and so you're just basically tasked with protection and killing for him. Now, I think that'd be good, but except the problem with that idea is that it can't be open world like Dark Souls is or open area. It has to be linear because you're almost like on rails. But I'm thinking more so like almost cutscene heavy to tell that story, because that story in Parasite is what is gold, man. It's so good. Like if you're okay
until that last episode,
exactly right. It's like if you're okay with playing a Final Fantasy game or a Hideo Kojima game where it's so cutscene heavy that you're pretty much watching the movie and then playing a little bit of the game. That's what I see this game as, like a lot of cutscenes, and then when you have to kind of walk through a situation, or let's say in Parasite, he was inside of the school running from that the fool parasitic I think was it a teacher or something like that.
Yeah,
he was running away from him. That playing that out will be so dope, but you have to understand what's going on, and heavy storytelling or heavy cutscenes will be great for that one. I feel personally.
Sure. I mean, I agree.
I think that would be so dope.
That's one of my favorite anime of all time.
Yeah, that's what I was That's what I was going for. I'm like, yeah, this one, because we listened to the song and I was looking at the clip art. I'm like, yeah, that'd be a good game.
100%.
That'd be a great game.
My boy Miggy. I'm just so disappointed in that ending.
Poor
Miggy. All right.
Watch Parasite at Maximum. It's a great show.
Definitely. Please do. Give us a season 2 where we can figure out what the hell happened.
We won't. You know that.
I know, right? They're not giving it to us. So my next game is going to be one of the series I want to talk about later, but it's Angels of Death. Now, here's where I fucked up. I was literally choosing this. I'm like, oh, this would be a great game. This could be like a horror thriller game, right? Where you're like in this dungeon, you're getting chased and you're scared, and there's like great like little evil cutscenes. And then I look up, just look up Angels of Death and like what like a little bit more lore about it and stuff like that. And I'm like, I didn't realize this anime is based off a game.
What?
Yeah, it was a game first.
Oh shit! That's the one that's disqualified.
And here's the thing, though.
Only in Japan.
No, it's just a trash looking game. It's not scary.
Oh no!
So I was like, no, legit. Let's change that. Let's give a better idea than what they did. Okay. So in their original game, it's a puzzle game, which I'm cool with. I like that. I like that idea. Yeah. But like the Friday the 13th game, right?
The 4v1.
Yeah, I really like that idea. But not like you're running from the bad guys. Like that could be after you beat the story mode.
Right.
But I would say like it would be really cool if let's say you're in these dungeons and you're gathering your memories, kind of like how they are in the anime. And basically you walk around and there's like some scripted horror modes, but like the idea that I would rather you create your own personal character when you come into the game, make them look how you want, make them look like you, make them look like someone else. But basically your character is part of this dungeon and you give you answer questions that they give you in the beginning.
Right.
And that will tailor some of the like horror reactions, how the levels play out, and then what your actual ending story is kind of like. So like you could have been some child murderer who was just psychotic, or you could have been someone who never did anything wrong but didn't know you had like some twisted double persona and you were like a maniac on the other half, but you just never remembered it. But I just like that idea because I love the horror mystery games and you're finding things out. And as you're playing through the game, you gather those memories and you kind of get back to where you were and then you try and escape. And whether you can escape or not is based off if you avoid certain horror moments and then have different interactions. So it's similar to like my idea of like Psychopaths, but more of a horror, dark, twisted,
right. Now,
but way more action, like you have to fight kind of idea.
Yeah, Angels of Death is a strange one. Now I'm gonna say this: if you haven't seen Angels of Death, you don't have to watch it. I'm gonna be honest; it's not that great in my opinion. It's now the anime was terrible to me. I'm not gonna lie; it was a bad anime. The problem with it is not the problem, but the good thing about it is you can't put it down when you watch it because of the intrigue behind that story is insane. Okay, so it's this situation to where this girl wakes up inside of this building and she don't know what's going on. She basically don't have her memories, and she finds this guy named Zach who looks like a psychopath killer, and we found out that he actually is, and he becomes one. Yeah, and they're inside of this building and they're just trying to find their way out. It's a simple premise, but the way they're finding their way out is they're basically going through and completing these puzzles in a game format that somebody set up. And it's very, very interesting. Like this, again, the anime sucks, but the story just makes you want to keep trying to figure out what's going on with it. Now, I only say it sucks because it's like, maybe it was just bad writing or something like that, but some of the writing had me like, what?
Yeah, the parts I didn't like were not the ending, because I really liked the last episode. That was like my favorite part. But like the few episodes leading up to the last episode where like you kind of realize that maybe she understood everything all along and she was trying to fake, like that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, it was real tacky.
Yeah, but I really loved like if you remember Pumpkinhead Eddie.
Yeah.
I loved his scene.
Oh, yeah.
The doctor was mad crazy. The girl with the gun, her little area was crazy. I liked those parts. It was more or less like when they start to introduce who she really was. I was like, why you hide that the whole time?
Yeah, that's when it became a little...
Like, my dude is more twisted than you, and you think you out here like you the bad guy. You're not the bad guy for real. Your life was horrible, so you did the things. You did probably the right things, honestly. So
100%. It's you don't really have to watch it. I'm not gonna say it's one I will recommend, but it's not bad if you're bored and you don't have anything else to watch. But nowadays, so much stuff to watch. So
it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Good,
exactly.
Not great.
That's a perfect description. It's good. As we can just use that one. That's a good one though. I will definitely not play that game because it's horror. And you already know your boy Polo does.
You play Outlast?
I did. I was forced to pay Outlast. My chat bought it for me. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and put that first half of Blair Witch on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, we need that. I need to share that in the group.
I hate it. Anyway, back to my last game. My last game is gonna have to be this one. I was kind of indecisive about because I felt like it was a game, but maybe not. No, I'm changing it up right now. Boom, I got it. Just made this up off the top of my head. Literally right now. Astro Lost in Space. Easy.
I was trying to avoid that one, but you didn't want to talk about it.
No, we're not going to talk about it in the story sense, but the game, it could definitely be a game, and let me tell you why. All right, yeah. You listening, Goody One? You better be listening. Now, this could be a good game because if you like space exploration games like No Man's Sky, I enjoyed the fuck out of No Man's Sky. As kind of monotonous and as tedious as it was a great game. Nice Zen type of game. Imagine Astro Lost in Space, but you have to basically you have to keep up with these relationships between your crewmates. So not only is it like a relationship game, kind of like Persona 5 is, but you also have to do like survival stuff like No Man's Sky. Now, it's not going to be as grandiose as No Man's Sky because it's not going to be like procedurally generated. It's going to be set generated planets like the planets that they were on in the show. But like you have to survive off the planets and not die and make sure you keep your crew safe. One of your crew members died, you got to start all over, like kind of like road-like. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be dope.
Yeah. Almost like you said, like No Man's Sky.
Like No Man's Sky, but also like a roguelike. So the moment, I won't say roguelike because then if somebody died, you just come back at somebody else. I think a nice structure, if you die, game over type deal. Maybe you have to start back 2 planets ago. Something challenging.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost like love that because I really enjoyed like Try Not to Starve or Don't Starve.
Don't Starve. Yep. Kind of like that. That'd be dope.
And each planet would have different risk and stuff that you have to assess.
Mm-hmm.
Some planets you might not even get off your ship.
And depending on the relationship you build with your Astra crew, you also have to worry about if that's the right person for that planet. So you keep Sharsh on the ship, but you take I don't know, the singer chick for, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you have the same situation where the singer chick runs off the ship and you got to go rescue her. And that's your task. Oh, okay. I'm done talking about it. I love Astro Lost in Space. I love it so much.
Such a good show.
Yeah, but I think that'll be a dope game, man. I'm coming up with this idea and it makes me really want to play it. And I'm kind of getting sad. Damn.
Bro.
We should have asked for Chris to give us one of his.
Oh, definitely.
That would have been a good idea.
He's gonna have to give us that for next week's episode.
Yeah, for sure. So hey, Chris, thank you so much for that topic. Thank you so much for being a producer and supporting the show. That topic was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that topic a lot. But next up, we're gonna go over to our other producer, Connor's topic, which is a pretty good one because I have no idea either, and I really want to because I really want to get back into watching this show. And the show we're talking about is Fate Stay Night series. Wasn't that Fate? Was it Fate Stay Night the first one?
So Fate Zero was first.
Okay, Fate Zero. Okay, that's the one that I saw, that everybody saw. I think most people saw. Okay, so Tell is going to give us the knowledge of what order do we watch the Fate Stay Zero / nights and stuff.
So actually, I'm sorry, I kind of told a lie there. Fate Stay Night is the first one.
Okay, Fate Stay Night. Okay.
But Fate Zero is the earliest time frame in chronological order.
In chronological order.
Yeah. So if we go by what's the first one that was put out, it's Fate Stay Night, and then you have Unlimited Blade Works, and then you have Fate Zero. Fate Zero then has a second season. But basically, Fate Zero is the earliest chronologically. It is 10 years before Fate Stay Night. Now,
so Fate Stay Zero is 10 years before Fate Stay Night? Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So most people prefer Unlimited Blade Works because Unlimited Blade Works has both a series and a movie. I prefer the movie because the series itself is, although it gives you more detail, there's a lot of stuff. There's not a lot, but there's some stuff in there you don't necessarily need to care about.
Okay.
But if you had to go based off what you should watch first, actually Unlimited Blade Works makes it the easiest to understand, and then you can go Fate Stay Night and then Fate Zero.
Okay, so first Unlimited Blade Works, second Fate Stay Night.
Yes.
And then third Fate Stay Zero.
Just Fate Zero.
Oh, Fate Zero. Now, will you be confused if you do that, or?
No, so what happens is Unlimited Blade Works gives you, and this is just based off so like my personal experience is I started off with Fate Stay Night, and that's supposed to be the most difficult way to comprehend it, but I had a good time understanding it.
Yeah, me too.
It seemed difficult to me. But apparently it's confusing to some people based off like the research I did. So people think Unlimited Blade Works is the easiest to understand, and I get it because the movie gives you the full rundown in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh.
You get the full rundown and full understanding of how the world works in just the movie, and then you watch the series itself and you get a little bit more detail. Gotcha. So I can attest to that. I agree with that. And the movie is epic. The animation is great, all that kind of stuff. And then you break down into the actual series and you get more details, more lore.
Right.
You start to hate and love characters a little bit more. But I do still, personally, I would say just watch it from the beginning, though. Start with Fate Zero, start Fate Stay Night, and then go Unlimited Blade Works. And the reason I say that.
Okay, so wait, I want to just slow down a little bit. Okay, so you say you should watch Fate Stay Zero first.
Yeah, watch it in the regular chronological order. Fate Stay Zero, then it's Unlimited Blade Works, and then it's Fate Stay Night.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, Fate Stay Zero, but Unlimited Blade Works. I'm trying to remember all this because I'm going to do this myself because I really want to get back into it because the Fate Stay Night was so good. So good.
After those three, though, you can watch them in whatever order because literally none of it has any correlation to the others anymore.
Even the El Malloy one, too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, none of that really has any real correlation to the main series anymore. Those are still main series anime to the main plot, but they don't have a specific correlation, This is just evolution at this point.
Okay, so but if you do watch those three, then you will have a better understanding of the other.
Yeah, how the world works, how the magicians work.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. That's great. That's phenomenal.
And also the slice of life. You can watch that in whatever order you want to.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that one because Polo loves the slice of life. That became my favorite genre because of Clinat. And man, if you can find a good slice of life, you're good. I'm gonna recommend one right now, and I'm gonna recommend it on Twitter on our Mic Check Waifu Twitter. Just Because. If you haven't seen Just Because, watch Just Because. That's a great anime. I'm gonna recommend that on Twitter. But wow, okay, so I got it.
I gotta add it to my list.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. Okay, so one more time. Okay, just for the listeners. Now, if you don't know Tell like I know Tell for many years of my life. He talks fast. So all
right.
We're gonna just do it slowly this time of what to watch. What you recommend you should watch the Fate series in.
My recommendation is just regular chronological order, or regular order of which it was released, which is Fate Zero, then Fate Stay Unlimited Blade Works, and then just Fate Stay Night. And that will give you the original chronological order, how it works. And then you just watch it that way and kind of build off of that. That's how I watched it. That's how I enjoyed it. And I fell in love with it.
Dope. That's dope. You hear that, Connor? That's going to be us.
Right.
Because I can't wait to get back into it. Because it's such a good, like, the characters are phenomenal, man. They're so good.
And then I've been watching some of the battles in the new series. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Oh, yeah.
It's the best. It's like almost like you can tell they're working on Demon Slayer.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to look at it. Anything that can animate full fight scenes without taking any shortcuts is very impressive. And I know the Fate series is really good at that.
I want to know why they budget is so nice.
Exactly. Yeah, that one's dope, man. That one's dope. Oh, man. Thank you so much to our producer, Connor, for that topic. We appreciate that, brother. And we'll take a quick break and we'll come right back with Anime Talk, which is us bringing you a couple of anime and just kind of giving you the synopsis on episodes and whatnot and if you should watch it or not. So stick around for Anime Talk right after this break.
How many days have passed like this? The city, the crowd is fading, moving on. I sometimes have wondered where you've gone. Story carries on, lonely, lost inside. I had this dream so many times. The moments we spent has passed and gone away. Could there be an end to this? What I'm feeling deep inside. You know there's no looking back. Glassy sky above. As long as I'm alive, you will be part of me. Glassy sky, the cold, the broken pieces of me. The mystery of it I recall. Suddenly the truth will change the way we fall. I didn't want to hurt you, hope you know. Empty promises, shattered dreams of love. Sometimes I wonder what's beyond. I tried many times to make it up to you. Can somebody tell me what to do? Thought we're meant to be. There's no going back. Time has already come. Sun is gone and no more shadows. Can't give up, I know. And this life goes on. I'll be strong. I'll be strong till I see the end. Glassy sky above. As long as I survive, you will be part of me. Glassy sky, the cold, the
And welcome back. Welcome back to my Check Waifu Waifu. This week you heard that Glassy Sky from Tokyo Ghoul Route A, which is a dope anime in my opinion.
Almost coughed up like.
Not most people's opinion, but what we decided during that break is that we're going to do a full Tokyo Ghoul revisit review. Now, for real this time. I know we said we was going to do that with Inuyasha, but that one has a lot. So we're going to take our time on that one. But Tokyo Ghoul, I think we should do a full rewatch and then revisit it and talk about that like in a full episode. Like a full episode of just Tokyo Ghoul talk. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, we could probably pull that off right after Demon Slayer's last episode.
Yeah, true. Facts.
Yeah,
no, I don't know if we can though.
Oh, yeah, we might be going right into
My Hero.
Season.
Yep. That's right into My Hero in fall season. So we'll figure it out. We'll get that done for you and we'll let you know. But I think we should do that as like a book club type deal too. I think that'd be dope. Like have everybody rewatch it together. And like, hey, this week we're going to finish season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul and talk about it and then, discuss it with the viewers and the listeners and stuff like that. I think that'll be dope. We'll talk about that later. We'll save that for my Check Waifu Waifu Plus. Anyway, welcome back. I'm here to bring you some anime during anime talk.
That's what we're here for, right? Anime.
Yeah. Anime talk.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to start off with Dr. Stone.
Uh-oh. Why you sound like that?
I sound like down and depressed.
Uh-huh.
Because Dr. Stone was going to be the one, It was going to be the best anime of this season. Which it's not. It's not at all. Now, it did get better with the last 2 episodes, I'll say. Episodes 10 and 11. It did get a lot better. But it's still, this village arc is dragging on way too long. Way too long. Now, 2 episodes ago, we got a look at what Tsukasa was doing and the people he gathered and the way he's doing it. This man really created an empire full of just kids. Like, it's literally just kids in this empire.
They goons.
Yeah, they're all like heavily combat trained goons. A bunch of Tsukasas running around.
Tsukasa.
Exactly. While our boy, we didn't see our boy Tanjiro. We didn't see my girl. I don't even remember her name because I haven't seen her in 6 episodes. But we haven't seen her. But we are dealing with Senku in this village arc. And this village arc is, when it gets to the discovery of science and the discovery of something important within the science, it's a great show. When it plays this little music and he's science lab acquired or whatever, when they acquire stuff and he gets to explaining that's when the show is at its best. But when the show is just being the show, it's just not fun to watch to me anymore. Like, I'm not enjoying it as much as I did at the beginning. The story is dragging on. It don't feel that great. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that. Dr. Stone is cool. Its environment is beautiful. The characters I like a lot. I like the characters, but the story just isn't going anywhere. And that's kind of dragging me down a bit. Every time I watch it, I'm kind of like, we do this for fun. And I'm kind of like this when I have to watch Dr. Stone. I'm like, fuck. All right, here we go.
It's not fun.
Yeah, some gonna have this. Nope. Nah. Oh, he discovered glass. He's giving the little one glasses. That was dope, by the way.
I was gonna say, I actually enjoyed that part.
Yeah, me too. When we took off her mask and found out how adorable she was, and the fact that her issue, and which is an issue she's embarrassed about, is she just can't see because she needs glasses. And the same with our dude that's fighting for that turn. Yeah, yo, watch the video version of this podcast and see. Give an example of that face.
Yeah, you say that. You say that every episode. Watch the video so we can see Taylor's face. Yo, I be tripping.
Time out. Yo, I'm gonna clip that face and post it on our Twitter and use it as a meme, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Taylor's about to become a meme. That's fantastic. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put Polo trying to read subtitles.
That's what she looked like though. And I was like, yo,
Yeah,
like she was cute until she was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, they really did that anime character dirty.
That literally made me laugh out loud though when that happened though. And that was pretty good. The some of the comedic beats is pretty good, but the rest of it I'm just like, okay, all right. I know nothing's gonna happen, but I'm just ready for some war to happen. I'm ready for Mikasa and Tsukasa, Senku and Tsukasa to throw down, or they're the two worlds collide. Like, I don't know. It's just not that interesting anymore to me. I'm gonna still watch it, of course, because I have to, but it would have been something I would have put down by now and let it stack until it was done.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Let's not do it because you have to. I mean, if the anime is trash too, bro, I wouldn't even watch it.
Yeah.
But I would say this, is I think they're going to clash soon because he's getting like a step closer to getting those like wild people on his side.
Right.
So once he gets there, I think is when they're going to bring that colony together, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. What you got for us, Till?
So what I'm hyped to talk about is my boy Ash Ketchum.
Ooh, Pokemans.
So first, I got to do my Birdman hand rub, which y'all got to understand is it's been 22 years of Pokemon.
Damn, dude.
22 years, over 1,000 episodes of Pokemon.
And I remember when it first came out.
We was like in what, second grade?
Yep. I remember it because my brother was collecting the cards.
So 22 years of Pokemon.
Somebody
And
got beat up for a Charizard. I'll never forget.
Today aired the episode that Ash Ketchum wins the Pokemon League.
No way. What? He won?
Today, September 15th, 2019, Ash Ketchum wins the Pokemon League.
No fucking way, dude.
Now, this has been speculated already. We kind of already thought Ash was going to win this league. And this is why everybody's like tripping, right? Last anime, Pokemon X, Y, and Z, when Ash arguably deserved it the most. He had the best team he's probably ever had. The best actual like Pokemon knowledge he's ever had, and got beat when he had type advantages and a 3-0 lead.
Jesus Christ.
He's like the Golden State Warriors versus he's like the Golden State Warriors versus the Cavs. You know, like he blew how you blow that lead. Yeah, he had a 3-1 lead and lost.
Damn.
And he comes to this one. They bumped the animation down, made it more kid-like, but they gave Ash the victory. And I'm happy that Ash won. Dude, I'm so hyped, so happy that Ash won. But here's the sour note, right? Is that in the next they've already like promoted the next Pokemon anime in Japan. And there's no Ash as far as we know.
They're saying since he finally won after 22 years that they're going to be done with him?
We don't know for sure yet, but from what we've seen, it's going to be an anime based off all of the regions and not just one region like how they normally do. And with that, there's no main character. How can Ash go to every single region at once?
Ooh, that's a good point. My question is, where the hell is all of Ash Pokemon? With still Professor Oak still? Because that was the last time I remember. When he didn't win 10 years ago, that's when I stopped watching Pokemon. I'm like, okay, the point of this show is for him to build up this team, these bonds and this friendship for him to always lose.
Yeah, like, you got to realize this dude is 22 years old, but he's still in a 10-year-old body.
Yeah.
Like, he's 10 years old for 22 years.
That man is 32, bro.
Now, Polo knows I'm like the biggest Pokemon fan. Pokemon games specifically. The anime, I'm okay. But the game itself, I've always loved. Pokemon X, Y, and Z is my favorite Pokemon anime season. It's the only one I watched all the way through other than the original seasons, like the first 3 seasons.
Right, yeah.
So it's hype. The battles actually look really good in this, but they like downgraded the actual overall animation look, but the battles are actually look a lot better than some of the old battles. It's just they taking away our boy Ash, as far as we know. But congratulations, Ash Ketchum, on your 22-year victory. Your mom got to see you become the first Pokemon League champion in the Alola region. I'm hyped for you.
That's crazy.
But that's all I got.
That's nuts. That's too much. 22 years. He just didn't win. I thought he would have won way sooner than that, but Jesus.
Yeah. He deserved it a lot sooner.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, even in the first one, like, he deserved to win that first one, but he lost. And I mean, I think that's agreeable because it was like his first time. And how do you progress the story if he just becomes a champion immediately, right?
Right.
But now we don't. I mean, he deserved it every time after that.
True. That's crazy. All right. I just want to take a quick break and tell you, hey, please do us a huge favor. Go to the iTunes podcast and rate it for us just so we can get more eyes on the podcast. We need more people listening. That'd be great. We want to grow. When we grow, we can do more stuff for you guys, and that'll help us out quite a bit. So if you haven't already, everybody in that Facebook group, if 170 people in the Facebook group, just go rate the podcast on iTunes, even if you don't have an iPhone. You can do it on your computer. You can even do it from your Android phone by going to the website. Just rate the podcast for us. It'll help us out quite a bit, and share it with your friends. Now, for my second and last anime I want to bring you is... I cannot wait to talk about. I'm not even going to go into like full detail on like story stuff because again, it's going to get super spoilery, and I hate spoiling stuff. I want people to watch these shows and come to the conversation with us. We can have the conversation on our Discord. The Discord link will be in the show notes. But seriously, Fire Force, man, how much better can this show get? It's progressing so nicely that I don't understand why more people isn't talking about this one too. Like, we're getting a lot of Demon Slayer talk. We're getting a lot of freaking Dr. Stone talk. But Astro Lost in Space and Fire Force falls by the wayside so often. And I can understand more so why Fire Force is. Because it seems at the beginning when you watch it seems kind of campy, real tropey, the usual, you know what I mean? But it's so different than the Naruto's, and it's so different than the Boruto's or whatever the popular ones that everybody talks about is. And it's enjoyable. Like I guess it's because it's not a lot of action. But when it's action is so much more meaningful than any other show that's out right now. Like, for real.
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah. So
entirely.
I'm not going to go into story stuff here. I just want everybody to watch Fire Force because the intrigue is building. It's getting to a crescendo right now, and we kind of learned some stuff about the big bads, or we learned one of the big bads and who he is and what he looks like, which he looks dope.
He looked dope. Hey, that's my screensaver. As soon as I saw that, I was like, ooh.
Oh, is it really?
I was like, ooh, let me add you to my screensaver real quick, bro.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, now, what's big about this one, though, for me is like I said, the storytelling, man. How well paced is this show, bro? Can it get any better?
I mean, at first, Polo, you seemed a little shaky on Fire Force.
I was not ever shaky on Fire Force. Okay. Never shaky on Fire Force. Nope. I was definitely shaky on, what was it? It was definitely Dr. Stone. That was the only thing that
Stone was a little shaky.
That was the only one that got real shaky to me early on.
This one is just good, and I entirely agree. Like, it's been, to me, dope. I love how they're building the world.
Yeah, the
like
world.
I said before, it's the Soul Eater world, but they're just doing it so well, doing so much justice to the show this way. And wholeheartedly, yeah, I agree. If you haven't started watching Fire Force, go ahead and watch it.
Right.
And there's still a little fan service in it, you know?
Yes. Some great, some unnecessary fan service that works out for me. I mean, I love unnecessary fan service. I know a listener who just started, who doesn't watch as much anime as we do. But she's known as her name is Hikarin, and she's known as the lewd mistress in Twitch channels. because she enjoys some fan service too. So there's your shout out, Hikarin. So I hope you listen. Tweet me if you do. Polo Born Fly. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's so good, man. I wish is Fire Force on Toonami? I know you said something about it. I think it was
it's simul-dubbed on Toonami.
That's crazy. And you go watch it on Toonami? I got a lot of feeling a lot of people don't want to watch it because it's not as action packed as some of the other shonen like Naruto and stuff.
And Polo and I are here to tell you that's a bad idea.
Bad idea. We are good at finding these gems, man. We have a lot of
this should have been a no-brainer though, like to begin with.
You would have thought, yeah.
You should have been watching this anyway from the jump.
Yeah. Watch Fire Force.
Yeah, 100%.
What you got for us?
Now, I'm bringing a low-key classic.
Low-key?
Hellsing. Yeah.
That's a high-key classic. Now, this one we can get into spoilers with because it's old.
Now, Hellsing is a rated R 17+ anime. Mostly not even for anything other than the violence and blood. Not because they out here being lewd or nothing like that.
No.
It's that there's just so much blood that it had to be rated R.
Right.
By far, I would say an easily highly rated anime. Like, it might not ever be your top 5 just because it's probably not your favorite. But it's one of those anime that, like, when you watch it, you're going to be like, I could throw that in my top 5 easily if I really needed to. Like, if I just need to throw something out there. But it's just not your top 5 because it's not the one. But it is dope. Animation to be out in 2001 is really good. What's up?
How close is it to the Castlevania series on Netflix? Because that's the first thing I thought about when you said you were going to talk about this today.
The Alucard is essentially the same person because it's technically like Dracula. That's who Alucard is.
Of course. It's the same kind of story, but how is it story-wise?
It's not the same at all. I personally would say this Alucard is stronger than the Castlevania series. Because Alucard is ridiculous. And we actually had this debate earlier in the week. I posted a debate in the group, who would be the best gunslinger. I chose Death the Kid from Soul Eater, Alucard from Hellsing, and Vash the Stampede from Trigun. And realistically, Death the Kid and Alucard completely stomp Vash. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's nothing Vash the Stampede can really do to either one of them.
But you know he's a legend.
So. Yeah, he's a legend. But then you have Alucard versus Death the Kid. What's ridiculous about that is Death the Kid, he attacks your soul directly, and Alucard lives off of souls. Like, he has he has acquired millions of souls, basically. So you have to, for each time he dies, he can just sacrifice a soul and he lives.
He's back.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So it's hard to kill Alucard, but for someone like Death the Kid who attacks souls directly.
Yep. Chalk that up.
Either way. Yeah, either way. So Hellsing is about a family of essentially like mercenaries and assassins. And they assassinate like demons and evil spirits and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So Alucard is a vampire who is in service to the Hellsing family. And whenever they need something done, Alucard is the one to go carry out the mission and get it done. In most cases, he toys with his enemies because he doesn't have anything better to do. So he will let Cerberus out, which is a demon that he's devoured, and he will let Cerberus out and let Cerberus eat you and take your soul too.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Hellsing is just, he's insatiable. He literally, he has an insatiable hunger. Literally, he was facing an entire army and he let the undead world come out of his body. And there's nothing they could do.
Dog, I forgot a lot of this, man.
I mean, he got hit with holy water and was like, "Yep, that hurts, but
whatever.
Come hold this L real quick." But no, I would definitely check out Hellsing. Even if it's Hellsing Ultimate, like most people are going to tell you to watch Hellsing in general. Hellsing Ultimate is technically a little updated and upgraded in terms of visual. But I would just any Hellsing in general is worth it.
Okay, so there's a Hellsing updated?
Yeah, so there's Hellsing. Hellsing Ultimate is going to be the newest one. Okay. And then, there's Hellsing Dawn too. The Hellsing Ultimate was updated. I saw this. Actually, it's rated higher too than the original Hellsing. But either way, it's a great series. Definitely worth watching. On my anime list, it has it ranked above. It's 112th ranking, which is high. Yeah, I mean, for all the anime out there. True. So I'd definitely say go check that out. It's a great series, great visuals, great everything, great blood.
Great blood. Speaking of blood, that was a good anime too.
Damn. Right. I haven't seen that in a long time either. Thank you, Polo.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. That's dope, man. Hellsing, I'm gonna have to get back into it. Definitely something I might be interested in again. All right. Now, before we get to our final stretch of the show, my favorite time of the show, I want to say thank you so much again to our Patreon supporters, Otaku tier and Weeb tier. We don't even have an anime fan tier. You guys just want us to support us at the 2 highest levels, and we appreciate you so very much. So check out our Patreon again. Go to patreon.com/mycheckwaifu. You get the bonus episode just for $3. You get the video version early, and we may change up how we release the video versions for everybody else. But just stay tuned to our Patreon and our Twitter and our Instagram for that information. But thank you all so much for supporting us. And this is the part where we get to the spoiler section of Demon Slayer. Now, if you plan on watching Demon Slayer, when it comes on Toonami on October 12th, leave this podcast and come back to it later and listen to our thoughts on each episode. We start off at episode 10 via episode 1 of My Check Waifu Waifu. This is episode 14 of My Check Waifu Waifu, and we're talking about episode 24 of Demon Slayer. So, without further ado, full spoilers ahead from this point on Demon Slayer. Let's go. Wow. First off, this is way better than the last episode. I just want to get that out the way right now. Straight up. Still, and this episode was the episode I needed to further validate my thoughts on Zenitsu. And how shitty of a character he is. I mean,
oh my God.
We saw his speed a little bit. We saw what he's about. He's about these women. He's a simp.
So all right. Then give us the recap. Then what you do?
Oh shit! Let me do the recap. Let's start with the recap, I guess. Fuck, do I even remember? For the most part, the show starts off back where it left off, where they were recovering from their ailments inside of the bed of Shinobu.
Yeah, Shinobu's home.
Of Shinobu's mansion. And they basically say, we're going to start your rehabilitation training, basically. They all start their rehabilitation training. And
not immediately, though. You got
not immediately, yeah.
Inosuke and Tanjiro go first.
Yeah, they go through their rehabilitation training, those two, because Zenitsu arms are still becoming big man again. But they start their training, and all we see is them come back from their training extremely exhausted and extremely tired and beat to all hell. And Zenitsu's like, yo, what happened? What did you guys do? How was your training? And they just went to sleep. Then it goes to when basically Zenitsu recovers as well, and he joins them for this training. And when they join him for the training, he learns that these guys have just been training with these pretty girls all this time. They've just been getting stretched out by pretty girls. They've been throwing tea on each other by these pretty girls, and they've been playing tag with these pretty girls. And he's upset with them for having that good old time in training without him, while
No.
he's thinking they're getting beat to shit.
Let me interject right
Please
here really
do.
quick, right? So right here confirmed my views of Zenitsu.
He's a simp.
Hey, we'll take that. But simp or not, my dude Zenitsu had the worst ailment out of all of them. And he comes back, arms still not fully stretched all the way out. He's still got his short legs. And yet he has faster reaction times.
Did he have his? I thought he was fully grown though.
No, he wasn't back. His arms were still too short. He's still drinking his medicine, taking his medicine. So he wasn't even fully recuperated yet. And he had the worst ailments out of everyone and was still topping them.
I don't know.
So
if that's
to me, I mean, they couldn't even do it. He was able to catch them. The only one he couldn't catch was Kako, whatever her name is.
Yeah, of course.
Couldn't catch Shinobu's direct trainee, but he could catch everyone else, where everyone else was like struggling. They couldn't do it. Inosuke and Tanjiro couldn't catch anyone. They couldn't throw the tea on anyone. They couldn't handle the stretching. To me, it just shows like it validates my opinion as Zenitsu in terms of like strength and flexibility and overall like his training. He was better than them. He may not be anymore after the end of this episode, whereas our boy Tanjiro took some steps ahead. But as far as that part goes, Zenitsu is on top.
I want to validate because that's an important piece. I think he was fully healed. If you remember, his arms were still couldn't fit into the shirt. He was still this. Well, I thought it was only because it was big, but when he pulled his arm out, it was his full hand. It just had like purple splotches on it.
Yeah, he wasn't fully grown yet, bro.
Oh, okay.
Because if you remember, that was the next day after their training. Mm-hmm. They went to training one day before him, and he was still not fully grown yet. And then he went to training with them the next day after their first day.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's still.
I get it.
He's lightning, so obviously you have to be fast when your element is lightning. You have to be. I mean, it's without a doubt, right? Not that it's going to last that long because what Tanjiro is doing.
Put me on paper here saying Zenitsu would have killed Rui.
No, he wouldn't have.
Rui wouldn't have been able to move fast enough to do it.
Yes, he would have. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have been able to move fast enough, but he would have did the same thing he did to Tanjiro to Zenitsu. Probably. Without a doubt. Because he would realize, okay, this guy is fast. Let me chop my head off first before he really gets my shit. And then Zenitsu,
I can't keep up with him.
Exactly.
But I think I'm going to stick with that. I think Zenitsu was stronger than Tanjiro and Inosuke up until our boy Tanjiro or our boy Inosuke and Zenitsu. They back out of the training after 15 days or so. They were like, we're done with this.
Yep.
They weren't progressing
too discouraged.
Enough to them. Yeah, they weren't progressing enough mentally to like keep up with it. Like they were all getting better. You said what?
I said Inosuke disappointed your boy big time.
He didn't disappoint me because I kind of saw it coming. Like Inosuke is the kind of guy, and this is based off how I see his character. If he feels like it's not benefiting him, he's not going to do it, period.
Right.
And he doesn't see himself growing, even though like Tanjiro may have seen themselves growing. That's why I really liked after Tanjiro is still training and continued going, and he's like, why can't I catch her? What's different about her? He can tell there's a different scent about her, that she's like the Hashira.
Right.
She's at that level. And the little girls start telling him, well, they ask him when he goes after Zenitsu and Inosuke are done training with him, basically, hey, Mr. Tanjiro, do you keep up your full concentration breathing 24/7 too? And he's like, what? What you mean 24/7? And she's like, yeah, that's what everyone else does. And he's like, what you mean that's what everyone else does? That's why she smelled like the Hashira. So immediately after that, he starts to go practice and start trying to do the breathing techniques 24/7. And yeah, your boy's struggling after more than a minute. He like, I can't do it. My body feels so heavy. And they tell him, well, what you would do is normally you blow into this gourd, and that's how you can tell how good your breathing technique is. and he was saying that the Kakoa girl could blow into a gourd that's like the size of a person, and
That's like
her
triple,
lungs are strong enough to break it. And he's like, she can really do that. So he starts practicing, getting his skills together. He's doing all his regular training while practicing or maintaining his breathing techniques. So I'm assuming it was like another like week or so of him doing that, and he progressed further. And afterwards, he's sitting on top of the mansion, meditating in the moonlight,
focusing on that breathing.
Yeah, and he's thinking about how he can progress and make everyone better,
right?
Or make everything better. And you hear our girl Shinobu calling him, and she just kind of pops up out of nowhere, and it was actually kind of creepy to me. I low key jumped. I was like, "Oh,
yeah, it was kind of dope though."
Yeah, because she just there, like, but that just goes to show like their levels of skill. Like, you won't even sense their presence,
right?
And basically, her talking to Tanjiro, she's asking him like, you're practicing your breathing techniques. What happened to your friends? And he's like, oh, it's fine that they quit. Because once I master it, I'll help them master it as well.
Yep.
And she's like, you have such a good soul, and you're such a good person, and I just hope that you'll carry on my wish. And I was like, oh, we got some dialogue coming
backstory.
Here. Rub your hand together. We got some information coming. So when she starts to tell him, what her wish is, she tells her about how her sister died. Was killed by a demon, and her sister had the belief that you could befriend demons. And she was saying that Tanjiro and Nezuko have given her hope in that dream again, even though her sister died to demons.
Right.
And they give us a little flashback of her holding her sister back when our girl Shinobu had shorter hair. And her sister is like this super pretty demon slayer. You can see her blade on her hip. That's not like it's a full blade, not a stinger blade. And
that was a good catch.
Yeah, basically, we see that that's where Shinobu decided she's going to be a demon slayer too.
Yep.
So they come back from the backstory, and Tanjiro is basically saying, yeah, definitely, that's 100% what I'm going to do, is that I'm going to cure my sister, and I'm going to continue on my path. And she says, I'm happy for that. And I feel like I can rest easy now, or rest now.
Yeah, which kind of got to me. Like, what is she saying exactly?
Yeah, so that's what scares me, right? Is that, like, for one, the way she's talking either sounds like she has some kind of sickness that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Or she knows she's going to die. And that is like, is that where these next 2 episodes are heading?
Right. Oh, we only got 2 episodes. I forgot.
Yeah, let us know your predictions. But what did you think, Polo?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think she has a sickness, hence why she's really into medicine. And basically the healer of the Hishiro, however you say them. She's basically she's basically the healer of them. Watch the video version. That's a really good background. Holy shit. I definitely think she has a sickness, which makes me sad because she's probably one of my favorites too. Now that I kind of understand who she is and what she's about.
Yeah, because she was about to try and kill Nezuko.
Yeah. So I don't know what they can do in these next 2 episodes. Is it gonna be? He's going to wrap up the training.
They gave us almost a month of training in 1 episode. So I definitely think they can squeeze through. Like, if you remember, they gave us 2 years of Tanjiro training
in like 2 episodes. Yeah.
So it's like,
I think they can
do it.
But what are they going to do? Are they going to finish it up half the episode? And then what? Like, is he going to get back on the road and that's where it's going to end?
That's not for us to know until the episode comes out.
Yeah.
Which is the scary part, because I want to know so bad.
I know. What do you think, though?
I think, so like I told you, I knew they were going to have a training episode like this. I basically said that they're going to have a training episode. I think that next episode is going to start off with them training again, and possibly with some progression on Tanjiro and his breathing technique. Getting closer to 24/7 breathing, and possibly Zenitsu and Inosuke find out that they were doing some different training on the side. Like I said, this is speculation. I don't know, but I think they're doing some training on the side that we don't know yet, and they will essentially they're going to come back and finish their training together. And then the last episode, we're going to see some fighting.
Wow.
26, we're going to see some fighting.
We have to, right?
I think it's going to end like that, and we'll be like,
that'd be so bad.
Why do I have to wait till next episode, which is probably going to be next year?
Yeah, 100%. 2020. Well, with that wraps episode 14 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for supporting the show via patreon.com/MicCheckWaifu. You can follow the podcast social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mic Check Waifu Waifu on Instagram. MicCheckWaifuWaifu.com has all that information. But thank you all so much for listening. You can follow me on social media at PoloBornFly.
And you can follow me on social media at King Teliano.
Wait, did you change it?
Yeah, it's all changed. Bro.
It's all changed, and I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I gotta take off that other thing off your lower third then.
It's all good. It's all good.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. And Patreon supporters, we'll see y'all soon in our bonus exclusive episode. And the rest of you, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?
One